Hello. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant, Vera Masham, innocent or guilty? Very clearly innocent. The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? You ask questions as if I'm actually able to give an answer in any regard. I assure you, I am never truly prepared for anything that I go up against, but God knows I'll try. Something inside me, rising, surfacing. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. The only thing I don't understand is why. What was the point of all of this? Why did he do any of the things that he's done? It makes no sense to me. Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Masham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. That's almost the correct thing you're supposed to say. Not bad. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant Vera Masham's condition? Acute poisoning, according to her physician. She could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today. What? They can't put her on trial without her being here. It is unusual. They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. Yeah, far from the first or last time we're gonna be seeing that. That's being a little harsh. Yeah, to her. They can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. I guess, but that seems messed up to me still. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be canceled. I'm not gonna let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. So am I to interpret... Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, no. Except, okay, some things yes, some things no. Okay. The point is, Apollo's as in the loop as I am. Okay. I'm gonna get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events, for some godforsaken reason. Why did Vera Masham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. Objection! You okay? Gonna have to stop you right here and there. But Vera was poisoned with that stuff! The bad stuff! The exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? I mean, a verbal one is gonna be my... You know, that's at the top of my list, personally. Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Significant, since it's rather hard to come by. Yeah, which is, a very large part of why I'm going to end up doing what I'm doing here. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. Man, this is gonna be awkward for you, dude. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Masham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. Okay, what? She was in court, giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. I think I actually just this very second realized how it happened. The prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to the court. Tell us how Vera Masham was poisoned. Easily. Okay, I've got 2 things to prove here. Who did it, and how. Which to hit first? I'm gonna go with the how. Because the who is significantly more dramatic. And also a really good band, but that's not what we're here for. How did the killer poison Vera Masham? I'll focus first on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of the poison was found on the defendant's body. Yeah, shows what you know. I see. So the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Masham? I am. Yes, I do. Very well. What method was used to poison her? Bum 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 bum. What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Bow! Thank you, Judge. Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, that's definitely the way you would phrase it. So, the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it? Not so much. As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish? It's like paint for nails. Know any women with red nails? Ah, my wife has red nails! I see, so she's been painting them all this time. Oh my god, Judge, come on, man. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? They made special note of it and everything. Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Her nails? Ah! Prosecutor Gavin? When the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff! Have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice. Yes? Do you know who did this? I do. Do you know who put poison in that nail polish? I do. That bottle belongs to Vera Masham? Well, it belongs to her now. Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? I think you do. No, just checking. Let's go ahead and find out, buddy. Mr. Justice, you are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of the accusation? Here, let me show you. Phew, understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. Then let us ask, who poisoned Vera Masham via her nail polish? Bam. What's... Christoph Gavin?
Objection!
Take offense? What's your game? My bro, there's no way he could do a thing like that. And yet he totally did. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He's behind bars. Extraordinarily luxurious ones, but still. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourself when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. And I'm more than happy to prove that he did. It's simply inconceivable. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. Seeing the writing on the walls, aren't you? That face tells me one thing, and I don't even have to perceive. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay. The defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. Well, this is gonna be something. Oh, boy. Okay. Alright, here we go, here we go. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison. If we can prove that he's a double-time murderer, maybe he won't get such incredibly plush accommodations in prison anymore. That would be nice. Ah, Your Honor. How nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. You haven't even been in that thing for more than a year. Stop acting like it's been forever. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. I mean, you know, I worked 3 cases and won them. I'm feeling okay. Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo! You can do it, you can do it! Bravery, bravery. Does this bottle look familiar? Ariadone nail polish? That's my best guess. Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet! And? Was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit, I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste indeed! This nail polish was how Vera Masham was poisoned. Atroquinine, was it? I have to at least try. You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Inexplicably. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. I would like to present to the entire court that this man really shouldn't be able to have that kind of access to things. Well, Clavier? I can only wager what the general relationship between these two is, but I can't imagine it's a particularly, warm one. Maybe you can explain this. You're being accused again. By him. Again. Ah, and? You agree with his accusation, do you? Lot of silence coming from him today. Very uncharacteristic. Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You're suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Masham. Please testify on this matter to the court. Alright. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds she poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too. I mean, as a byproduct. Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mashams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well. Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination. I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. Well, I mean, it's not the first time, dude. But I know he poisoned the Mashams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? Alright, what are we working with here? Okay. Oh! Perceiving, huh? Okay. If I'm meant to be perceiving, the only different animation he had at all was this. Alright, hang on, let's go ahead and do ourselves a bit of a perceivement. Whoa, that's a face. Okay. Wow, he is very pissed off right now. I'm just looking. I mean, those eyes are fierce enough, but okay, nothing. Maybe something with his... Whoa, where the hell did that thing come from? Huh. Something... Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Holy crap! That's actually disturbing!
Gotcha!
It was you who killed Drew Masham. God, that actually unnerved me a little. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news. It was more of a skull. Either way. Ugh. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Masham fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. Then I must be very talented indeed. Hey, if you want to pat yourself on the back as you admit to being a murderer, two-time murderer, then, you know, feel free. Makes no difference to me. You see, Drew Masham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way all the same. And I found it too. I think you know. This is how you poisoned Mr. Masham. Alright, hang on. It's with this!
Take that!
My. And here I thought you'd come so far. Huh? I admire you, lacking any confidence whatsoever. Choose to barrel on. Your defense lacks even a shred of elegance? Much like Phoenix Wright, come to think of it. Oh, damn it. Relax, Justice. I've come this far. I must know the answer. How did the killer get to his victim when the killer was in jail? God damn it. Okay, it's always... Right idea, wrong execution. Yes, the... Okay, no, we want this.
Take that!
The stamp was on the envelope. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's fine. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Masham died, he was seen writing a letter. Poison was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, this stamp was found in your prison cell. Right, makes sense. The stamp has more connections than the stupid freaking brain. Okay, it's fine. We're still winning. We got this. That is all, Your Honor. Order in the court! Poison on the back of that stamp? After Drew Masham was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy? That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Masham write you a letter. That's how you killed him! What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Ugh. Methinks I might know why why the prosecution may have a tendency to, you know, boost his own ego at times. I don't think he grew up in a very loving household. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brushell's testimony. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Masham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yes, a stamp! A so-called postage stamp! End quote. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was a mere coincidence that he used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence? He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder. What? Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Masham would have used that stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell. Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I'm not done! I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier? Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were, Christoph. What are you saying? Prosecutor Gavin? Air forehead? What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Drew Masham. Yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Masham would use the stamp. Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Masham died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence. Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Very well. I shall take his claim head on, then. Justice. What? You accused me of Drew Masham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you. What possible reason could I have to kill a painter? Apollo! Motive! He's talking about a motive! Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. Why would he want to kill a poker player? Huh? I mean, granted, we're probably gonna have to unravel that too, but still. Now, here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So, what does it mean? It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. I do believe we do. A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in the case. Please consider this when making your statements. I'd say it's about this vital. That's pretty vital. Well, Mr. Justice, I'm going through with this matter no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Okay, then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Masham? Okay. I actually do believe this should be it. Take that! Always when the music stops, that's when things get real. Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Masham's studio in the first place. And why was that? Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Masham accepts his first job creating forged evidence. I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifique Grammary's diary. When attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. Objection! The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright. Who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they? Just out of curiosity. Do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And then there's the oh so very important second page. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Masham by the client who requested that forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than the poisoned commemorative stamp. Drew Masham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery. To keep them from talking? But he made a mistake. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. Couldn't have anticipated sentimentality, could ya? The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Air Forehead? Do you understand what you're telling us? I do. And I stand by it. The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Masham was none other than Phoenix Wright! Not my point at all. Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh? Then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh, old boy. Here. What's this? I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. And one more thing. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Previous attorney! I mean, okay, that would be a connection, but that still wouldn't explain why go through all this? Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now here's a question. Just who was Shady and Nigmar's previous defense attorney? No. This can't all be... Oh, but it is. It's all true. There was another man. A defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you! Christoph Gavin! Order in the court! What is the meaning of this? Witness! I mean, defendant! Former lawyer! Whatever the flying hell you are! Let me begin by denying this. Objection! Not gonna work! It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin. It's impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. Oh, well, isn't that incredibly convenient? Okay. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? That would be difficult. It would be. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield. Objection! Air Forehead? Are you sure you don't have evidence? I never said that I didn't. What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence! Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavia, just prove it! Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case! You must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him. And proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Masham? Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Masham 7 years ago. Prove it. It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not...
Objection!
Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? You actually used my name. I am. Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well. But if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty.
Objection!
Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. I know when that happened too. Ugh. Well, Mr. Justice. Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Masham. And I have something that clearly does this job. Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Masham. Only thing I can possibly think of. Here we go!
Take that!
This evidence proves there's a link.
Objection!
That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hmm? Hey! That's Daddy's handwriting. Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this? Ah, I see now. Yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible. This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter. Reproduction? When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. Thank you, Emma. What? He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin. And the contents of your personal mail. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please. The defense's claim is denied. What? Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice. Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination. But the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point. Apollo, do something! I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him. Very well. This ends the special witness's cross-examination.
Objection!
The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why. Prosecutor Gavin? Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years. And I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Kristoff? Klavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine? Or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor. Your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Klavier. Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you? You amuse me, Air Forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Airwright? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it? Unnatural? Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment you call in Drew Masham. It was almost as if... What? Funny. It didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Klavier! I knew because you told me, Kristoff! What?! It was the night before the trial. Klavier. Kristoff? Odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who'll be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then... I wondered about it at the time. How did Kristoff know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Kristoff! We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserved that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case! The victim's belongings? Which would have included Magnifi's diary, wouldn't it? Mr. Gavin? My, Klavier. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me, what was going on behind that trial? Why not? I've achieved what I've came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Apollo? I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramarye. 2 cards. 1 card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion. Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christoph Gavin. He saw through the facade. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright? A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs? He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man? He deserved to die for that error alone! Hold it! So the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these two men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramery both deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Masham to forge that evidence, so you could win. But then, when you were dismissed as Zach Gramery's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin? Perfectly? You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said every day for 7 years. But I felt it too. Journalists sure he is being watched. End quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Gramery got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? Wait just a minute. Zach Gramery was seen by this reporter? How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years? Finally. I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Gramery. Gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him! Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. Now it's really not the time for comedic relief, although it is appreciated. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that traveler was Zach Gramery. What is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going! We'll talk about it later. Did she already know? Trucy was always more observant than she came off as. Someone please explain this! Mr. Justice, can you explain this? I can. It all started 7 years ago. The great magician Magnifi Gramery's death started it. Magnifi Gramery's death and his student Zach Gramery the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Masham? Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Masham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp. I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Aradoni nail polish. Of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Masham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Ah! That nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refused to leave the house. That person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me. Yes, apparently she received something, a gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client, the one who wanted that note made. It was his insurance. Insurance? As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years. And then, they went off almost simultaneously. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavia, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the hatroquinine that took Drew Masham's life.
Objection!
What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramery to keep him from talking. I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive.
Objection!
Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Masham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Masham who is on trial here. No! But you were doing so well, Apollo! As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him. This course of inquiry cannot find Vera Masham innocent.
Objection!
Your Honor! Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Masham to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me. I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. What? Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor! Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately. Yes, Kristoff, you're right. That is, you would have been right. Until now. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system. One swayed by the court of public opinion. That's right. I totally forgotten. The jurist system. Jurists, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers? Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense! There's only room for two in this court! Me and the law! Keep the riffraff out! Out, I say! They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. 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 I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You'd let ignorant swine soil your courts? Kristoff, it's over. Clavier! The law is absolute? You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to a gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on, and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing. Nurturing it is our task as human beings. Except for you, Kristoff. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to. Wow. I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Masham, accused of murdering her father, the painter Drew Masham. However, several other incidents were reviewed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court, For the death of Drew Masham, how do you find the defendant Vera Masham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Masham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Masham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Please, wait. Yes, jurist number 6? There's something in the jurist's handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case. With the development of the case? I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Masham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely. Judge well. Whoa. Clever man, Phoenix. Clever man. And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jurist system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any ever heard before or since. What a sad, pathetic, broken mess of a man he is. Driven to such extremes through pure pettiness. He sought out to end the lives of a man and his daughter and destroy the life of a defense attorney who did nothing wrong, simply doing his job. All for the sake of a bruised ego. I may not have reacted over the top. I may not have said much during the proceedings. But I want the record to well and truly show that Christoph Gavin is one of the single most horrendous human beings I have ever seen in this franchise. I haven't the foggiest what his ultimate fate will be. But I assure you, anything that this world could do to him for the things that he has done are far too good for him. I just wanted my thoughts to be known. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. I've seen a lot of scum on the witness stand. He's up there. I'd need to do some really, really thorough thinking. But I know he would be up there. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Masham opened her eyes. I guess Phoenix left his stuff here. Vera! I'm so glad Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too. And proud. You did well, Apollo. A wise man once said, a lawyer can't cry until the very end. We've reached that. I say it's okay to let the tears be shed. When I thought about what if Vera, Hey now, don't you start crying too! Oh. Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera? Thank you so much. Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No. I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that? Clinging to my good luck charm? Vera. When I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. Looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you'd pull through, Vera! I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future! I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Oh! Look! It's me! I love it! Thanks! Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so, at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy? Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. You mean the stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away. We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching. And one day I shall return. You're the next Gramarye, after all. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay! Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and I've got you too! Even if your voice is kinda loud sometimes. Glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy? The one who can't play. Do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted yet. Here goes. Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat. Objection! Not loud enough. And I like Miss Magic Underwear better anyway. That's Magic Panties, Apollo! We just had to get one more of those out, didn't we? So, your memories returned? Mr. Wright, was this all a part of your plan too? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if I ever said it on camera, but I meant it then, and I'll say it now. I honestly believe Phoenix Wright is one of the single greatest characters in fiction. And every time I think I've seen the best he can do, he pulls out another thing like this. I swear. When I lost my memory, I was born as Le Mirror. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists. You're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course it is a happy thing. For so long I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you. Are you going to tell them? They do not know? Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings. I will go to them when the time is right. Until then, Don't worry. I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me, too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her, at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels. On the inside. Your bracelet. Yes? I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine, and I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore who I was away. "10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Speaking of miracles, Vera Masham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily. Really. As long as they've got something worth living for. That's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel. Here comes justice! God damn, this series is good! I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Grammary. Trucy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy. Trucy, Gramarye. Frankly, I got my doubts, but Hat Gramarye, now that'll pack 'em in. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, that was Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. What do you want me to say? This series is amazing. It's not every day you get a trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gaviners are breaking up. The news caused a run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. I've heard that, apparently, this series isn't looked too fondly upon. Rather, this particular entry in the series. And I just gotta be open and honest with you guys, I literally do not understand why. This was amazing. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam. Again. I'm happy to know, ultimately, what he decided on. To my understanding, it's literally just, there's a new protagonist? Grr, angry, bad game. And literally, they just completely ignored every other aspect to it. And I think that's disgusting. So, I was standing around eating snackoos the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe. I adore the fact that that's all you had to say on the matter. I love the characters. I loved the cases. Everything worked. It all flowed naturally. I don't know what else to say, man. In unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Bowl Club. The only thing colder than a restaurant is borscht. But if greater challenge is being required, then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for. I feel like I should point out, once more, just about Prosecutor Gavin. He's a perfectly fine dude. I played it up for comedic effect. He was a bit smug and condescending at times, but he was just doing his job. He's good. So, Kentucky Pastries is getting back to its eastern roots. Spread the culture and all. Yo, boss, it's culture time! This is how we write root, capiche? But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss, PR time! Gaze into my beautiful eyes! And this is how we write people, alright? Not that Walkie's paying any attention. Oh, kids. Oh, the children's, I swear. That's a good point. Music. Really good music. Bizoy! Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago, believe that. And you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker for real. I know it don't look like no cracker, G. What do you want me to call it? The OG muffin? I would suggest yes, you probably should call it a muffin. That's clearly what it is. You absolute cadonkus! I'm really, really glad I was able to finally play this for you all. I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one, too. See, this time, I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. I'm trying to kill people. Why pretend? Eldoon's Noodles is about to salt. Salt forever! I think I said it before, but I was actually going to play this earlier, and then right as I was about to start, they literally announced that they were doing this HD port. Serendipity of the highest order. Oh dear God, did we really need a reprieve of this? My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unquibblable adoration at my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stickler, when Wesley Sticklehands. Or Sticklerhands, whatever. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure. Yeah, that's totally why the people in your school are calling you that, dude. Absolutely. How dare you cover Emma? Anywho, it was a really crazy coincidence of timing, I gotta be real, but, man, you know something else I'm really thankful for? The fact that I don't have to deal with 3DS simulation for the next 2 games. I don't know when I'll be playing those. As always, I need at least a decent enough break. Oh, is she pretty? I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it, joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. That's just wonderful. With 2 more games, there's clearly a hell of a lot more story to be told, and I really want to see it. Plus, the series is going to go 3D. Brusha, brusha, brustle. Brusha, brusha, brustle. Brustle here, back on the beat with another interview. Eh? How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalists' confidence in mint condition, like my teeth! End quote. Yeah, you know, we don't really need to hold on to that photo specifically. I think that one can, I think that one's allowed to just kind of go away. I've decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you. Oh. Starting this series on a lark was one of the best decisions I ever made. I have been the Max a Few Trades, and I'll see you all next time for a brand new Let's Play. See you then.